Have you ever walked into a crowded room and felt your energy drain away within minutes? Like something invisible was pulling the life force right out of your body? You're not imagining it, and you're not weak. What you're experiencing is real energy theft. And today I'm going to show you exactly how it happens, who's doing it, and most importantly, the 5-step protocol that creates an impenetrable shield around your life force. Because as Pythagoras said over 2,000 years ago, no one is free who is not master of himself. Let me ask you something. Why do certain people leave you feeling exhausted after just 10 minutes of conversation, while others energize you? The answer lies in something most people never see: the invisible network of energy exchange happening between human beings every single second. Dr. Judith Orloff, author of The Empath's Survival Guide, puts it perfectly. Energy vampires are people who drain your emotional energy. They feed on your willingness to listen and care for them. But here's what most people don't understand. This isn't just about feeling tired. This is about actual, measurable energy transfer. And you need to know how to spot it immediately. Because energy vampires don't announce themselves. They don't wear signs. But they do leave 3 unmistakable signatures. First, you feel physically heavier in their presence, like gravity just increased. Second, your thoughts become foggy and scattered within minutes of interaction. Third, you notice a sudden drop in your emotional baseline, even if the conversation seemed neutral. These aren't coincidences. They're the biological markers of energy extraction. And once you learn to recognize them, you'll never be caught off guard again. Research from the HeartMath Institute has proven that human hearts generate electromagnetic fields that can be detected up to 3 feet away. And these fields interact. They influence each other. They exchange information. Some people have learned, consciously or unconsciously, to tap into your field and drain it. The Hidden Energy Vampire Network. Let's talk about what's really happening when you're in a crowd. Most people think they're just introverted or socially anxious. But what if I told you that what you're actually experiencing is energetic overwhelm from dozens of unconscious energy connections forming simultaneously? Dr. Christiane Northrup, who literally wrote the book on this called Dodging Energy Vampires, explains. Certain people seem to drain us of energy, while others seem to give us energy. But it's not random. There's a system to it. Think of your energy field like a Wi-Fi network. When you're in public, you're broadcasting. And certain people are constantly scanning for open connections. The moment they detect someone with strong, vibrant energy, they lock on. They establish a connection. And they start downloading. Research published in the journal Emotion shows that emotional states are contagious. But what the research doesn't tell you is that this contagion isn't equal. Some people are transmitters, others are receivers, and some are parasites. The parasites have developed what I call energetic hooks. These are psychological and emotional patterns designed to create dependency, drama, or crisis that keeps you engaged and keeps your energy flowing toward them. Here's how you know you're dealing with an energy vampire network. You walk into a family gathering feeling great. Within 20 minutes, you're exhausted. Within an hour, you're looking for an escape route. And by the time you leave, you need 3 days to recover. That's not social anxiety. That's energy theft. The HeartMath Institute's research on energetic heart-brain communications proves that our electromagnetic fields don't just exist, they actively communicate and influence the nervous systems of people around us. When you're around an energy vampire, your heart rate variability drops. Your cortisol spikes. Your immune function decreases. All measurable, all real. The 7 types of life force thieves. Now let me show you exactly who you're dealing with, because energy vampires come in 7 distinct types, and each one uses a different strategy to access your life force. Type 1. The victim vampire. They're always in crisis, always suffering, always one disaster away from collapse. Warning signs. They reject every solution you offer. They're more invested in the problem than the solution. And they get angry when you stop engaging with their drama. The moment you recognize this pattern, you know you're dealing with someone who feeds on your rescue energy. Type 2. The narcissistic vampire. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, one of the world's leading experts on narcissism, states, "Narcissists are energy vampires. They take and take without giving back." Warning signs. Every conversation redirects to them. Your accomplishments are minimized or ignored. They require constant admiration and validation, and they become hostile when you set boundaries. Type 3. The drama vampire. They manufacture chaos. They thrive in conflict. They create triangulation between people. Warning signs. There's always a new crisis. They gossip constantly. They pit people against each other. And somehow, you always end up emotionally exhausted after dealing with their latest catastrophe. Type 4. The guilt trip vampire. They weaponize obligation. They use shame as currency. They make you feel responsible for their emotional state. Warning signs. After all I've done for you is their favorite phrase. They keep score of every favor. They make you feel selfish for having boundaries, and they punish you with withdrawal when you don't comply. Type 5. The jealousy vampire. They can't celebrate your wins. They diminish your success. They compete with everything you do. Warning signs. Your good news is met with subtle criticism. They one-up every story. They're only interested when you're struggling, and they seem energized by your setbacks. Type 6. The passive-aggressive vampire. They never attack directly. They use sarcasm, backhanded compliments, and silent treatment. Warning signs. You're always walking on eggshells. They deny their hostility when confronted. You feel crazy trying to address the tension, and you leave interactions feeling confused and drained. Type 7. The dependency vampire. They're helpless by design. They refuse to develop their own resources. They make you responsible for their basic functioning. Warning signs. They can't make simple decisions without you. They panic when you're unavailable. They've trained you to be their life support system, and they become hostile when you encourage independence. Here's what you need to understand. These aren't just personality types. These are energy extraction systems. And research on narcissistic personality patterns published in the Journal of Personality shows that these individuals literally have different neural activation patterns when it comes to empathy and energy exchange. They're not wired to give. They're wired to take. How your life force gets stolen. Now let me show you the exact mechanism of energy theft. Because once you understand how it works, you can stop it in real time. Dr. Daniel Siegel, author of Mindsight, explains, "We are wired to connect, and our brains actually reshape themselves based on experience. But here's the dark side of that wiring. Energy vampires exploit your mirror neuron system. Here's how to catch it the moment it starts. The 30-second detection window. Within 30 seconds of interaction with an energy vampire, you'll experience one or more of these physiological markers. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your shoulders tense. Your stomach tightens. Your jaw clenches. These aren't random stress responses. This is your nervous system detecting a threat to your energetic integrity. The moment you notice these signals, you're in the critical intervention window. This is when you can deploy protection before significant energy loss occurs. Most people ignore these signals. They override their body's wisdom. They stay in the interaction. And that's when the real damage begins. Your mirror neurons are designed to help you empathize, to understand others, to connect. But energy vampires trigger these neurons in a way that creates a one-way flow. Research on stress contagion published in Frontiers in Psychology shows that stress hormones can transfer between people through proximity alone. You don't even need to be in conversation. Just being near a highly stressed person elevates your cortisol. Now imagine that person isn't just stressed. Imagine they're actively, unconsciously pulling energy from everyone around them. Here's the three-stage theft process. Stage 1. The hook. They create an emotional urgency, a crisis, a need, something that triggers your empathy or your guilt or your fear. Stage 2. The drain. Once you're emotionally engaged, they keep you there. They escalate. They add complexity. They reject solutions. Because the point isn't to solve the problem. The point is to keep you engaged and keep your energy flowing toward them. Stage 3. The depletion. By the time you extract yourself from the interaction, your energy reserves are depleted. You feel foggy, exhausted, sometimes even physically ill. And here's the insidious part. They feel better, energized, lighter, because they just fed on you. The 5-step shield protocol. Now here's what you came for. The 5-step protocol that creates an impenetrable energetic shield. Deepak Chopra said, "The secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, nor to worry about the future, but to live the present moment wisely and earnestly. And that presence is your first line of defense." Step 1. Instant recognition. Time required, 30 seconds. The moment you feel that energetic shift, that physical heaviness, that mental fog, you name it, silently say to yourself, "I recognize energy theft in progress." This simple act of conscious recognition interrupts the automatic drain. It activates your prefrontal cortex and takes you out of reactive mode. You cannot protect what you don't acknowledge. Step 2. Energetic boundary creation. Time required, 1 minute. Visualize a sphere of white or golden light surrounding your entire body, extending 3 feet in all directions. This isn't woo-woo. This is neuroscience. Visualization activates the same neural networks as actual experience. When you visualize a protective boundary, your nervous system responds as if that boundary is real. See this sphere as impermeable. Nothing enters without your conscious permission. Hold this visualization for 60 seconds while taking slow, deep breaths. Step 3. Heart coherence lock. Time required, 2 minutes. This technique comes directly from HeartMath Institute research on heart-brain coherence. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe slowly. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. As you breathe, recall a moment of genuine peace, love, or gratitude. Feel it in your chest. This creates measurable coherence between your heart rhythm and brain waves. And coherence is like an energetic lock. It stabilizes your field and makes it nearly impossible for others to drain you. Step 4. Energy reclamation. Time required, 3 minutes. Now you call back what was taken. Visualize golden threads extending from your solar plexus to the person or situation that drained you. See your energy flowing back through those threads, returning to your body. As it returns, the threads dissolve. The connection severs. Feel your energy level rising. Feel your clarity returning. Feel your power restoring. This isn't metaphor. Studies on focused attention and physiological regulation show that directed visualization can lower cortisol, increase heart rate variability, and restore autonomic balance. Step 5. Permanent immunity installation. Time required, 5 minutes daily for 30 days. This is where you build lasting protection. Every morning, before you interact with anyone, you run through steps 1 through 4. You practice recognition. You strengthen your boundary. You establish coherence. You reclaim your energy. After 30 days, this becomes automatic. Your nervous system learns to maintain energetic sovereignty without conscious effort. Research on neuroplasticity shows that consistent practice for 30 days creates lasting neural pathway changes. You're literally rewiring your brain to be immune to energy vampires. This protocol works. Advanced energy defense systems. Now let's talk about the situations you can't avoid. Because I know what you're thinking. This is great, but what about my mother-in-law? What about my boss? What about the co-worker I share an office with? Here's your advanced defense system for unavoidable energy vampires. Protocol 1, the gray rock method. You become emotionally uninteresting, boring, neutral. Energy vampires feed on emotional reactions. When you give them nothing to feed on, they move to easier targets. Keep responses brief, factual, devoid of emotional content. How was your weekend? Fine. Did you hear about the drama? No. You're not being rude. You're being protected. Protocol 2, the time boundary. You control the duration of exposure. Before entering an interaction with a known energy vampire, you set a time limit. 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can handle. You set a timer on your phone. When it goes off, you have a pre-planned exit. I have a call in 5 minutes. I need to pick something up. I have a deadline. You don't need permission to protect your energy. Protocol 3, the energy recycling technique. This is advanced, but it works. While the energy vampire is talking, you visualize their words and energy hitting your protective sphere and transforming into neutral or positive energy before it reaches you. Their negativity becomes compost for your garden. Their drama becomes fuel for your compassion. Their chaos becomes material for your growth. You're not absorbing their energy. You're alchemizing it. Dr. Caroline Myss, author of Anatomy of the Spirit, teaches, your biography becomes your biology. The issues in your tissues are the issues in your life. If you don't protect your energy, your body will pay the price. Research on workplace emotional labor, published in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology, shows that chronic exposure to emotionally draining individuals leads to burnout, immune suppression, and increased inflammation markers. This isn't just about feeling tired. This is about your physical health. So you protect yourself, not because you're selfish, but because you're wise. Energy vampire recovery and empowerment. Finally, let's talk about recovery. Because if you've been around energy vampires for years, you're depleted, and you need a restoration protocol. Here's your 72-hour energy restoration system. Hour 1 to 24, isolation and rest. Minimize all social interaction. Sleep as much as possible. Your nervous system needs to recalibrate. Hour 25 to 48, nature immersion. Get outside, barefoot if possible. Let the Earth's electromagnetic field restore yours. Hour 49 to 72, creative expression. Write, paint, move. Let the stolen energy transform into something beautiful. Research on circadian rhythm and energy restoration shows that sleep, natural light exposure, and creative activity are the 3 most powerful tools for nervous system recovery. And here's what I want you to understand. You are not a victim of energy vampires. You are a sovereign being learning to protect your most valuable resource. Every time you set a boundary, you reclaim power. Every time you recognize theft in progress, you interrupt the pattern. Every time you choose your energy over someone else's comfort, you become more free. So here's what we've covered today. You now know the 7 types of energy vampires and how to identify them instantly. You understand the exact mechanism of energy theft and the 30-second detection window. You have the 5-step shield protocol that works in real time. And you have advanced defense systems for the situations you can't avoid. But knowledge is only the beginning. Now comes the practice. I want you to commit to the 30-day Energy Vampire Immunity Challenge. Every morning, 5 minutes. Run through the 5-step protocol. Build your energetic immunity. And I want to hear about your experience. Comment below and tell me, which type of energy vampire have you dealt with most? And which protocol are you going to try first? Because you're not alone in this. There's an entire community of people learning to protect their life force. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does.